Hello, darlings. Happy Sunday. It's apparently Mother's Day. I get very confused because in France it's Mother's Day today, but everybody all over internet gets excited in America and England on different days. It seems to be that there are many Mother's Days, but May, the flower season, is the time. So I was just listening to this music and it had me in a complete trance. We've got the Blue Boy, the UN Blue Boy. It was really rather nice. I would have liked to have kept it playing in the background, but I suppose I need a little bit more punch. So I'm not very punchy today. I'm not excited about anything in particular. I'm just coming to catch up with you. This is today's Google Doodle, Google. So we've got the Madonna and her child, and she's got her crown like the Statue of Liberty. I've been looking for a painting that I've posted many times, and I'm sure it was from last year's G7, and they unveiled a painting and it was exactly that. It was like a cartoon picture, very weird, holding the child, and you had everybody from G7 and their wives and husbands on each side of the painting. So that is your Mother's Day. We'll be having a look, but she's got 1, 2, 3, she's got 8 little fingers. So Venus every 8 years makes a 5-pointed star. We've got 7 little fingers on this child. We've got the can, the cane, appy, the cane, the canopy. We've got the little dog with 5 legs, and I suppose the tail could be in, but these guys are all in colour. It's just the black and white. But we'll get to that. I'll show you when we get to my my posts. So let's have a look at what's coming up. We've just had the full flower moon in Scorpio, and quite a few things been going on this week that I have to show you, but that full flower moon had the Iranian, the Persian king crashed in a helicopter, IRA and the N. Yeah, so for the full moon, we also had 2 tornadoes hit temple. So obviously we have 2 temples, and that Shirley Whirly temple, the tornado, which is a corn, which is the unicorn between the 2 temples. We'll be coming to that, but I just opened that. Terrifying tornado ravages Temple, Texas. So that was the tornado. Then we've got this painting of the Princess of Wales. She is now missing. We've got the blue and white of the Virgin Mary. We've got Cannes. We've got this film looking like D'Artagnan, and the film is called The Horizon. It's The Horizon. So we've got the new tornado, Ukraine, corn, and we've got the new horizon. So that's what I've always told you. Let's go to the last time I left you. That was the full moon, killers of the flower, fertility moon in Scorpio. That was before I knew about the tornadoes. So that's what I wrote about the flower moon. Full flower moon today, the 23rd of May, on the feminine fertility axis. Maypole day, moon in Scorpio, sun opposite in Taurus, Venus ruled by Venus, so and moon in Scorpio ruled by Mars. Mars, ruler of Scorpio, square to moon. Yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. That was the full moon. So there you have it. Mercury all alone in Aries, no, Uranus is still in Aries as well. Uranus and Mercury, got this big line up in the sky of all the planets. Venus at home now, no longer in Aries. Conjunct to Sun and Jupiter. So the Sun is a masculine energy in feminine Taurus. Conjunct to Jupiter. Jupiter, this is what he wants. He wants the home of Venus. He's next to his love, Venus. And this Apollo energy being given to Venus. And the moon in full, the moon is exalted in Taurus, so the moon is in full in Scorpio. So that was your full moon axis, feminine axis, the axis of the rate of exchange. This is all about values and money. This is the torso. This is the Taurus, the torso. And the torso eliminates by the sexual organs. This is the life-death portal. This is the female portal. And Mars that rules Scorpio is in Pisces, and Mars rules Aries, where Mercury is, and Mercury is the ruler of where the tail of the Milky Way snake is, and the head is conjunct to Mars, the ruler of Scorpio, where the moon is, and the ruler of Mercury, where Mercury, the ruler of Virgo. So Mars, the ruler of Aries, Mars, the ruler of Scorpio, where the moon and Mercury are. Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, in domicile in Aquarius, where Pluto is, making a square to little Mercury and Neptune. So Neptune is the only other planet with Mars, but that key is right on the last degree of Pisces now, Chiron. It's really coming up to Chiron's last. So we had a very blue Monday with the IRAN. It's Helios, Sirius, the Persian keeper of the four corners. The Hawaii 5-0, the rising of the new hand. There's William, who's just recently been seen in the helicopter. There's the crown that you now see on this Google. She's wearing the crown today, the Black Madonna. And there he is, Sirius, the keeper of the four corners, 46 chromosomes, and cranberry. Irish singer, there she is, dies at 46. The greatest king, this is the keeper in between the temples, the two temples. There's Prince William, the top son, he just went off, and that is the top of the Pyrenees, the Polaris, the five-pointed star. You've got the legs, there's always one leg under the horizon, that's the top of your crâne. There he is. He died on the Monday, the New Order, Blue Monday. We saw those images in the last video. So it's 5 years. 2016. 2016, 216 is 16p and 2 is B. It's your Paddy Bear. It's your Ponce Brooks. Ponce Brooks is currently on the rabbit, right on the rabbit, underneath the unicorn. So we've got the unicorn, the corn, that is your that's your cone, that's the cone of the tornado. So that's why we had the big boom boom in between the temples. So it looks like they've got the unicorn, and then making Sirius and Betelgeuse, Orion, bringing up the monolith, the Monoceros, Soranus, Sun. Right here, so that's under Cancer, it's your Kali. as well. Five degrees between the south-north node. Five-pointed star, Doctor Who with the child. She's got a little crown on her head. This is the little St. Trinian's girl. So this is what I'm going to be showing you from Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is just an anagram on Salome. We go from sol, alone, soul au monde, alone in the world. The Lone Star Ranger, Solomon, sun and moon, mother, father, to Salome. Sal means dirty, Salom. Salom, al, Mona Lisa, al, mon, mo. So the little child, St. Trinian's, in the play my son is doing, you will see that the Salome, the cover, is of the girl with long curly hair sucking a lollipop, the young girl. So it's, you know, it's the St. Trinian's, it's the child, it's the virgin, it's the dark side of the virgin. She doesn't want children. She's sterile now. And it's always just a play. So you've got the Jupiter, and he always wears the hat, just like in this new film with Kevin Costner at Cannes, Horizon, he wears his hat. They always wear their cowboy, the Cowboys, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, you know, Little House on the Prairie. He's got his little hat, Appy, the bull god, he wears that little cone on the top of his head. So look, this is on that blue, you've got the blue, just like that video I was just listening to on YouTube, that UN, the blue, the moon was on Spiker. There's the moon on Spiker. So this was for the crash of the helicopter. The moon was on the blue moon, Spiker. So the blues, to have the blues, is, you know, to be sad. Wrath of Eye of Horus. So there is your goblin at the back of the brain. There's the Israel, you know. The dog in the middle. I think that's more correct. Anki in the middle. Ra, Horus. It's just Israel. And everything going on right now. So today, as I'm speaking, the 26th of the 5th, we've got the moon on the noon key. There's the noon key, the key for the midday, on the ELLE bow of the archer. But the biggest thing always, so we've got Uranus. So everybody's celebrating right now. They're celebrating Gimon. Gimon, they are celebrating Gimon, 80 years of liberty. So this is the hill of the G. You put the G, the GG. I always explain to you, Gigi, Colette, Gigi, Colette. It's the Lolita. It's the Gigi. There she is. Gigi, Gigi. This is G7. Gigi is 7-7. This is Chiron's last. Macron is born in 1977. It's the 7-7. So the G7 is going to be in Italy, in G7, 50 years. It's going to be in Aprilia. So here we go. Aprilia, G7, Aprilia, which is the leg. Aprilia, I'll show you the pictures. We'll come to the pictures and stop jumping around. So Eye of Horus is that video again. Cyrus, the Great Empire. There you've got the girl in between the lion gates. I showed this to you. Right, let's... Okay, some pictures that I just threw together. Israel, the tomb of Salome, the Sash Femme. So Sash Femme is the woman who brings the child through the womb. She, you know, she is she helps the mother birth of the child. Presented at the birth of Jesus. So she was the Sash Femme to Jesus. Just like Mary Magdalene at the feet of Jesus. This is the woman, the Sash Femme. So Bess, the dwarf, the keeper of the four corners. Bess, you'll be seeing Bess in a moment. So you've got the child being born, the two pillars, the child coming through. We've got Mercury alone in Aries. So this woman is somebody who works in Israel. Amour, sex and terre promise. There you've got the girl between Israel and Palestine. There is the Black Madonna, Kali, the keeper of the true keeper, the black moon, the dark side of the moon. And this is the last St. Trinian's film. It looks exactly like the poster of the play that my son's doing in Israel. This is the Black Madonna of Choa, the greatest treasure of the Jasna Gora, Jour J, J, G. GG is 7-7, but the J is the 10. Is the miraculous image of Our Lady, thanks to which Gasnia Gora became one of the largest Marianne sanctuaries in Poland, the land of the pole. Pete, Paul, two little dicky birds, Pierre, Peter, the stone, the orb, the head, and the pole lands. The four corners of the frame and the Poland. Well, obviously it's in the Poland. So look, they only show you there. They just... Okay, well there you've got the whole. You've got the whole picture. Okay. So St. Trinian's, that black wig, that wig of Cleopatra, just like in Pulp Fiction, they're always going to have. And Amélie Poulain is AP, app, planet of the apps, abdominal, abominable, the app, the apes, the app, planet of the apes. So the soul, Amy Winehouse, and Poulain is the foal, the fowl. And there she's got her yellow and red, the yellow and the red. This is the bull god. This is the little gnome. And there's her father making the gnomes. So, with Montmartre. St. Luke is Taurus and the Black Madonna. So Taurus, St. Luke is Taurus, and St. John is Scorpio, and Salome kills Scorpio. So there you've got exactly the same. They've got the flame. This is all coming. It's all coming to Paris. We've got the Olympics. They're rising. There she is with her crown. It's always to find your fifth element. There's nothing complicated. There's the back to black. It's everything is just showing you. That's why all these people that make things complicated and all these people that get angry and talking about, you have to get through it. You have to get through all the traps on your own. But basically, it's just, that's just the same. There's Mars rules Scorpio, the sexual organs, and Mars rules the head, the hippocampus. So Scorpio and Aries, Baal, the gatekeeper. This is the gatekeeper. It's the goblin. To find your fifth element, only 144. Make the Twin Peaks, 72 and 72. You have to get off your all for one and one for all and find the 5. the V, the fifth element, the fifth element. Horizon, there's the eyes, and this is the cornerstone, the will I am telltale, the app, planet of the apps, appy, Amelie Poulain. So we just had the storms at 2 tornadoes in Temple. 2 tornadoes from Solomon to Salome. Salome is the bird in the cage at the back of the neck. Pete, Paul and Jack. So there's, we've got Israel, the cone, the corn, the pine cone, the I, the J and B, Boaz, Jackins. And look at those 2 little birds, the yin and the yang. 2 little dicky birds sitting on a wall, one called Peter, one called Paul. Pete, Paul and Jack. That's all. It's very simple. That's your Pierre, your stone. And that is your Ponce Brooks. Your Ponce Brooks, which is right now on the rabbits underneath the unicorn. The unicorn, the one temple. The one Shirley temple. There she is in the 4 corners. The liberty, we're in liberty 80 years. The Salome, the Mona Lisa, horizon, the hormonal Isa, the 2 sides of the coin. 77721, that's your tarot card. It's the Liber, it's the library. That's why your little mother, she's reading a book, the Liber, library. You read Liber, Libra. So the liberty cap at the top of your tree, you've got a cap, you've got the little gnome. At the back of your spine, you've got to get past this snake. So when I went to New Zealand in 2016, this is my old blog that I can't open, was really, so 2016 is PB. It is the time that Kate and William came to where I am here, and I went to New Zealand to visit Chloe, and this was all about that journey, and this story is all about how I got past the gatekeeper. And I write all about the goblins. I met the goblin. I hadn't worked out at all where I am now, but now I'm telling you, this is, you know, that film Pan, then The Labyrinth with David Bowie. Apparently the film The Labyrinth had the biggest ever ovation in Cannes, 20 minutes, 22 minutes or something ridiculous. So this was my story, quite naive at that time still, and I was just finding out about this Bess, the keeper of the 4 corners, because I met him. I was going my daughter for the birth of her 2nd child, and I had to confront, I had the gnomes all over my body, I had to, both on a black moon, so the first was just before the birth. You have to come and read this, but I faced this man with the tongue sticking out, very scary, and then I had to have light coming out from within me to get rid of all of them. They were all just like in that story, Goliath, the giant lying flat, and he had all those little men running over him, and he had to use all his strength to break the chains and to get free. Well, I had exactly that experience in this dream. And then I met, so there he is. That's your Statue of Liberty holding, that's your Black Madonna. This is just the back of your brain. And then I met this guy, and you see he's blue. He's blue, so he was completely transparent. And, you know, I really didn't know about these stories yet. I found out about it all whilst I was there. It was one of the most potent dreams, and so it was misty. They're known as the Mist Men, and I'd just gone to sleep. I've said this story many times. I'd just gone to sleep, and Hux, my grandson, was only about 2, not quite 2, and he would come into my bedroom and we would play when his parents had gone to bed. And I thought he'd come into the room, but I was in a kind of paralysis, so I don't ever get paralysis anymore. But in those days, I was still coming out of my shell, as it were. I still, you know, I hadn't had my big awakening, the liquid gold, the light, the lamp, the Eiffel Tower, the lamp post, the light tower go off yet. So I was lying in my bed and I couldn't open my eyes, but I could see in my head I could hear I could hear 2 small goblins, white, and then I was in my dream. I was in my flat in Paris, and it had lots of different rooms. And I walked past a room, and there was this big white transparent being looking at himself in the mirror. I was going, "What's he doing here? Who's that in the flat?" But I couldn't open my eyes, and when I managed to open my eyes, this person was climbing up my bunk bed, and there were 2 smaller in the room. Well, look, there's a smaller one there. Wow. It's the Pied Piper. It's Pan. So I really had to confront and face them. So that's a very long story. There's the cornerstone, the Lucis Trust, Rumpelstiltskin. So everything I know now, I was working it out. I had to go through that journey of working out. This is how I also met Elizabeth, who is still my healer. This story explains all about my meeting with Elizabeth, and holographic kinetics, or whatever it's called. But you can go and read all that. So there's that Amy Winehouse come back, and the Sirius, the bully dogs. Some woman, a 50-year-old woman, Hawaii 5-0, has just been mauled to death. I saw in the newspapers. So it's always it's the 2 different keepers. So I remember when Mars was in Pisces in 2020, just before the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. It was actually 2 years after the next time Mars was in Pisces, when Andromeda, that's how you pronounce it, Andromeda, the pirate ship at the Isle of Wight, and I was explaining they're taking the power of Pisces, Medusa, and then 6 months later when Mars was in Virgo, they put this statue up, and they gave the Virgo the power. So it's either Mars that decapitates, and then when Mars goes into Virgo, he gives the power to the Virgo girl. So this is just the image of the Centrinians. It's the Black Madonna. That's your bird at the back of the brain. It's the Ponce Brooks. There's Luke with Black Madonna between the 2 temples. We've just had the unicorn, the tornado between the 2 temples of Luke for the full moon in Scorpio, Luke and John. So John gets decapitated, and Luke gives the power to the Black Madonna. He gives the child. There she is between Boaz and Jacqueline. In between the temples, the new 1 corn. In between the temples, the 32nd card, the world card, the 4 corners is your 777. So we've gone from 23 DNA strands to 32 paths of wisdom. BB is just 1313 from PB, and this is the poster of my son's play. There she is with her St. Trinian's hair and sucking. She's just a child. Salome. Salome. The pie. The pomme d'api. Amélie Poulain. The pie. American Pie. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. My dog Appy, who was killed in 2016. It's funny you get the pictures of my fingers. Exactly that. Oh, my Happy. What a life he lived. Callie, decapitating, the same thing, and that's what we just saw. So we've got Jupiter, Uranus, Israel, and we've got the moon right on the key as I'm speaking now. And we've got Ponce Brooks. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Ponce Brooks right on underneath Cancer. Callie, the Devil Comet, PB. So BB, PP, 6699, the route to Memphis. You've also got a cactus. Memphis, you've got just the cactus. You know, it's barren. Barren, the desert is barren. Route 66, barren. Got the dog in the middle. So there he is, Bess, the keeper of the four corners. He sits at the back of your skull. Bess, moon, lunar energy, female, fertility. There he is, the planet of the apps. Sits at the back of our skull. Going the other way around. So there you've got those spikes again. You got the, so, you know, it's very much it's the same energy. It's just the Whore of Babylon. It's just Virgo, from Venus in Virgo, Venus in Pisces. That's all. The 3 eyes, 2 to look, 1 to see. It's all about the eye, that mid-L eye, the mid-L. Set, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, Zion, the horizon. So the keeper, you got 4 corners, Zion, and you need the 5th element. You need to make it past this again. It's the back, to get to the 3rd eye, but look, it's at the back of our skull. It's always the same. Or is that in, that's between the pituitary, so that's in the front. You've got Osiris in the front, and you've got behind, you've got the bird in the cage. So it would be the keeper, pineal, sun disk, and serpent head, thalamus. Posterior view of brain and stem. So well, that is just the stem. It's the Ponce Brooks again. Isra and ELLE. Tarot cards. The triple. So we've got a triple 3 drag queens to hold the flame. So the triple goddess. There he is again, Jacques Cousteau and Prince Charles. And just the 3 again, we're putting on the cornerstone. That's your L, is Ra and L. You've got to put the cornerstone, 7337. It's the triangle of the Vesica Pisces. L is just 3773, back to front, 3773. It's always so simple. That's why all these people arguing and making things complicated and numbers and no. This is it. You've got the 4 corners of your brain, of your torso, of your flesh, and of your skull, of your spine, the spectre, your Cain and Abel, Cain and Abel, the Abba. It's just you gotta hold the pillars. You have to be your own Grandmaster Flash. Okay, so where are we going now? We've done everything. Going that way? Okay, I think we've done those pictures. So how wow, I, the hidden hand, G777 GG. So 77 is just 99 because the 7 is an angle. Yeah, actually, you know what? That 77 is more of a 45 angle, half of 90 degrees. 90-degree angle, half of 90 is 45, a semi-square. So LG, Liberty, Glory, LG or Lord Gruffalo, LGBT, LG, and the B and the T. So the heel, horn, corn of her boot. Yep. So this is the summit on the 13th to the 15th of June in the city of Fasano in Apulia, Italy. The choice of Fasano as the headquarters of the G7 was announced by Prime Minister Giorgia. The throat, gorge, Meloni in November. Melody Nelson, MN. Omen Nemo, Omnem, Melanie. I told you, abdominal, abominable, Abba, Abfab, R Village 32290, the 5-pointed star. J. William Hudson wrote Abbé Pierre in 1924, and 100 years later, we now have G7, 50 years. In Apulia, it's the bull god worship, Nicola Bulai. Aphrodite is your app, and she's soft. It's the af, but it's the, it's the jaff, af. Appy Venus, the app B13, the beekeeper. So in French, a beekeeper is an apiculteur, appy. It's the beekeeper. The bee is the 13. It's the 13 is Mo's cow, the 13th chakra. It is your ability to be the center, to be the beholder, the eye of the beholder. The eye of the beholder, the observer, the one who stops taking it all so seriously. And people telling me off. Somebody's just telling me off on Facebook. Because I put a picture, this picture done, so this Carlos Castander, was he a true shaman or a con artist? Well, all the people at the top, they're all jokers. So this post is about, I don't even know who the person is, but very well said by Lynn, Terence Howard. So he's obviously some actor, something, I don't know what's happened, but I just, what she says. Somehow Terence Howard, who has done 67 movies, there's your 676, 67, the 6 and the 7th seal. So Lynn doesn't notice that. It's the how wow, how odd, how wow, I 50. We've got the 6 and the 7th, the 6 and the 7th seal. So yeah, obviously, they're all in it. They're all part of it. No ID. We've got digital ID coming out. Who this is? Basically, all the Truther movement is fake. They are all 100% gatekeepers. This is your beekeeper. Put there as stepping stones for you to learn how to discern through the labyrinth. The whirl is orchestrated by alchemists and agents provocateurs, and they have taken it upon themselves to filter those ready to transmute this realm. The rest get recycled until you are your own Grandmaster Flash. It's a personal journey through our own labyrinth. It's all a show. And when you take anyone to heart or anything to heart, you become emotionally attached or triggered. You've got to see above the crap and never idolize. ID, again, doll, idol, anyone, and get out of all Culture Vulture programming and New Age Golden Dawn traps. So no one's going to just explain things simply. And you got to meet your own, just as I did in 2016. And, you know, I went to play the role of the fertility. I had to you know, I had a feeling that it was to protect the soul of my grandson. There was, you know, to show that the female hell hath no fury than that of a grandma ready to protect her grandchild from the goblin of the lower carnal desires. The keeper of the, you know, that Osiris with the cross is the St. Andrew's cross, that bacteria of the electrolytes, of the little Spider-Man, of the spiders that can be bred in an electromagnetic, you know, that's what the chemtrails are. I've showed you the Andrew Cross. Andrew Cross. Spiders. There he is. So look, there is the spider on the cross. I've showed you all the time. So he discovered these, to make these spiders from the Spider-Man, to take the fertility of the Ishtar. So he created spiders from electricity. That's what all this electricity is being made. So that man takes the weaver at Bayonne. You've got the tapestry of Bayonne, where D-Day, so we've got a new moon coming up on D-Day. Baya, visit the tapestry of Baya. So this is the unicorn. Unicorn. There it is. And there she is, between the lion and the unicorn. She's with the unicorn, the new world, and the tree. There is the unicorn. It's Brooks. Right now. Okay, so where was I? We've seen that. Okay, let's have a look at this quarter moon. So on the 15th, we had the last quarter moon, and I did the last video about it. Something big happened on the 15th. It was the day that the beekeeper came. So that was the first quarter. And now we're going to have the last quarter before a new moon on the 6th. So let's check it out. Uranus is going to leave on the 29th. As Uranus is already in Taurus. Was it today? Oh no, he left on the 23rd. So he left for the full moon. My God. So that really big full moon, Uranus moving into Taurus. And we've got the painting of Catherine coming out in Tatler. In Tatler, and the blue and white. I'll show you that. We'll get to it. But so we've then got Venus and Jupiter conjunct. So that full moon is very... And the moon is right on the little pass, the claw, missing, right on the claw of Scorpio, the fertility. So we're coming up to the Baron, the Aldebaran. 23rd, 24, 25, today we're the 26, 27. We've got 6th of June, that is the new moon. and the other one, so the 30th of May. So coming up on the 30th of May, 28, right, 30th of May at 3:53 Central European time. So Mars right in the V for victory. The moon is going to be square right on Fomalhaut. So the moon is going to be square to, goodness gracious, to the sun coming up to Aldebaran. Completely square. So the philosophers rejected the true third eye. They are bringing up their ELLE, their Medusa, the Salome. The Salome, instead of closing Solomon, Solomon, Sol-omon, sun, moon. And there's the bear. It's your true bear, the bear. The bear and the lion, look, you've got the Lion King, but the bear sits between Solomon, and we're being given Salome, Medusa, as the new observer, third eye. So Tina Turner in Mad Max was playing that role with all the Planet of the Apes. It's another film at Cannes. Is so yeah, this energy. Okay, so the Sun and Venus conjunct in Taurus. So Sun, masculine energy in the feminine with Venus. Venus merged with the Sun, taking that more masculine energy because she's conjunct to the Sun. Jupiter, proud in you know, this is his woman, he takes her. This is Jupiter ascending with the bee, with the girl and all the bees, the beekeeper. And we've got Mercury officially still in Aries, completely conjunct to Uranus. So we've had each planet one by one be conjunct to Uranus underneath Medusa. Each chakra system, each part of our chakra system has been, you know, illuminated as it comes underneath the Salome, the bitch, the beach becomes the bitch, the Me Too bully. So Uranus and Mercury, this is really Uranus officially now in Taurus, and Mercury will just still be in Aries. Mercury doesn't move into, oh, hang on, Taurus. Yeah, Aries, and then moves into Taurus on the 31st. So that is pretty big. Mercury will be completely, yeah, it's just not combustion, but it's completely conjunct. So from 30th, Mercury is in Aries and then moves into Taurus. And then from the 31st, we've got Uranus, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun all in Taurus. Venus, the ruler at home, Mars. So we have nobody in Aries. I think that Aries is completely alone. We've just got this feminine axis with this little sextile, semi-sextile between Mars working with Uranus, Mercury. So yeah, Mercury for the quarter moon will still be in Aries, but the 31st will be in Taurus. So that is very strong feminine energy, but Mercury is still in masculine energy, and Mercury rules where the tail of the snake still sits in Virgo. So for this chart, we've got Virgo right on the horizon, and the ruler Mercury right all under Algol, Jupiter, Mercury, and Uranus. That is, you know, that is you know, bringing up that energy, Venus with the Sun, making a lovely trine. And we've got Pluto working with Neptune in Pisces, got a semi-square between Pluto and Mars still, and another semi-square. So Mars is making a semi-square to Pluto and a semi-square to the Sun and Venus. So that it's you know, this is incredibly feminine. These the triple goddesses. We've got the triple goddesses, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's that day that we've got 3 drag queens, Olympic flame. Instead of using so images exclusive para as drag queen Nikki Doll 1 week ago, drag queens to carry Olympic flame. The Olympic Games are sure we've got. So that's it. That is exactly the energy. We'll carry the flame on July the 14th. So they've got their big high heels, and that is what we're going to be looking at this. This is the G7 is on the heel of the boot of Italy, the app. The app. So there you've got the trip L goddesses, Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus. So the ruler Saturn is right. This is for the new moon. Let's get the right one here. So we've still got this triple goddess going on. We've got the moon on the true third eye, making a square to the philosopher's stone, Taurus, and the true energy of the moon also in masculine energy. So both the moon in masculine energy, the sun in feminine energy. So the moon is normally exalted in Taurus, and she is square to Venus. Venus should be, you know, we saw that with Lars. You know, Venus is really at home in Aquarius with Saturn. We said that Lars says that Venus should be exalted in Aquarius. Okay. And then we've got a new moon in Taurus on D-Day, the 6th of June. So we move to the 6th of June, and there we have Sun, Venus and Moon all conjunct, you know, pretty close to the bullseye. Mercury, Jupiter and Uranus fully, and that would be the absolute bullseye of, you know, it hasn't been more combust than that. Uranus now in Taurus. So Uranus, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, the Sun and the Moon all in Api, the bull god. And this is where the energy, the new moon for the next month, and then we've got G7 in Api. So let's go. So this is a little bird that I was with yesterday. It's sat on me for half an hour. So Api, also called Api was an ancient Egyptian bull god of fertility and the underworld who was worshipped in ancient Egypt. He was typically depicted as a black bull with white markings and wore a sacred menet collar. So my dog Api was white and black, you know. So there's the heel of the boot and Apula. So the apiculture. Apiculture is the name of a beekeeper in French. The culture of api, apiculteur. apiculteur is the beekeeper. So the fertility, the pan, got the polo and the pan. Pete, Paul and Jack. Jack and the beanstalk. Jack is the gnome at the back of your skull who is made into the Celtic Soranos, Bacchus, god of fertility. There is the bull in between the gap of the two temples being worshipped. Appy, this is just Amélie Poulain. She has the yellow crown. And there's the snake. So the snake is showing the cobra. It's showing that the new philosophers, the eye, the all-seeing eye is being given to her, Taurus, when the keeper of the four corners is not to be celebrated, is not to be, this is just your own passage. So look, that is the keeper of the four corners, the fleur de lis. It's your metamorphosis, the painting of Prince Charles. It's just this metamorphosis process, and there he is. I keep showing you, but that's all it is. You've got to get past this bull god, keeper of the four corners, who takes the fertility. There's the beekeeper, and there's Abbé Pierre, a famous man in France, which is just a play on the appy, the appel, the five-pointed star. This is your Orthodox. The Orthodox, they put the little Saturn on the top of their heads. This is Little House on the Prairie. And there's Aldebaran, and this is where we have got up. So I have to go back the other way. Jupiter ascending. This is just Jupiter and Venus in Virgo energy. We're going to have Venus, there she is, holding the bees with her the two corners, the 77, G7. La Femme Solaire. There she is. This is the famous book. This is the finish the world of sexes. So normally the triple goddesses is the moon, the lunar energy, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, and this book explains the journey of the female to become this masculine energy, for the moon to take on the sun. And that was the guy that I was with, my last gatekeeper, the last guy teaching me. I have Saturn conjunct to my sun. The first thing he gave me was that book, Salomon, Salome, Salome, Salomon, Sol, it's Sol, S-O-L, not Sal. Pete, Paul, the pole, and the new third eye. So the beetle, the fleur de lis, the beekeeper, the cone, the pine. And the beekeepers look like the astronauts in Odyssey 2001. It's just, that's the beekeepers. It's just the eye of the beholder between this Horus Boreas. We've got Chiron's last coming up. So there you've got CC, the spine, Charles and Camilla, the lunar, and here we've got this couple also called Charles and Camilla, and they are the Bourbon, the Italian Napoli, the Napoleon. So they are very much the Italian Rome, and then you've got the Celtic Charles and Camilla, the two CCCC. Oh, a bird just bang on my window again. My goodness. Oh, that's incredible. The birds are just non-stop coming to my window. He's just got, just like the bird yesterday, they knocked themselves out. Oh. I'm literally, the birds now just come to me in my hands. It's a whole new thing. So there we've got B&M, BFM, BM, Brigitte and Macaron and CC. Big Mafia, BM, Big Fat Mafia, BM. Well, anyway, you know what I mean. G7 Italia. G7 is 50. We're at the Hawaii 5-0, the hidden hand. Last year in Japan, the sun, the Empire of the Sun, and the last corner, the last leg. This is it. We're shutting the circle. This is it. And look, the USA presidency, we've got an app. App EC. MC. App on the MC. Maurice Cotterell. There's your M, E, and C. So now the East is being made into the M. App on the East MC. So the apple, the app, there is Appy, Eye of Horus, it's the keyhole, the A, the keyhole, the ambelic, the ab. Finite, limited, definable. So that was the great eclipse that we had. The Tav is the Aleph without a defined space. The 4 crosses, the Tav, the Aleph, Tav. North, south, that's my village. The 5-pointed star. The cornerstone. Everything is about finding that cornerstone. It's my village, 32290. The last leg. The fleur de lis, the yellow and blue. The yellow and blue and Italy. The heel of that boot of the drag queen. And Appy. And you've got the six corners, the 6 corners of the hexagon. That's right, the hexagon. So Appy bees, Appy days, fleur de lis. It's the cornerstone. That's why in Silence of the Lambs they put the bee or the butterfly on the mouth. Me Too, bullies, they had all at the can. So this is your IRA, your St. Patrick. You've got to find a 4-cloved shamrock. It's the shamrock, the cross, and the 4 fleur de lis. You've got Scotland, Ireland, what's the other 2? Irish shamrock, the 3 and the 4, that little, he's got 3 and 4 fingers, that dauphin, 4 corners and the 3, and there's always 1 leg under the horizon, there's always 1 under the horizon. St. Louis, Dogtown, the dog in the middle. St. Louis was the heart of the cross of the eclipse. St. Louis is the aisle of where Notre Dame sits. And that you can see. You've got the north and south node, the north and south node, north nodes. Appy, he's got little fleur de lis, bees. Appy, always the hats, just the heads. Okay, I have to open it like that. So just to finish those pictures. So we were there. The Judgment of Paris, LL, from NL, Nelly the Elephant and her trunk, the Ponce Brooks, to LN. Hélène was the wife of Menelaus, and he was not happy to find out his wife was the prize. Paris, on the other hand, didn't mind at all. He was happy to accept Aphrodite's bribe, Hélène. Hélène. So this is the book, Abbé Pierre, written in my village, The Five-Pointed Star, and it's written by J. William Hudson. Abbé Pierre, J. William Hudson. This is the William Telltale. That's your bull, raging bull in the bullseye, the Philosopher's Stone with the Anki in the middle. We've got the eye of Ra, Horus, and the Ankh in the middle. You get the cornerstone, the closing of the snake, Appy, the happy prince, the happy prince, and the swallow. And there's my dog, Appy. So Happy was, he died at 7 years old, so that's the 7L, the last leg, and he was sacrificed in 2019, which is just the same as 216 flip. Look at my lovely Happy. Oh, Happy, god of fertility, there he is, and we've done all the pics. So I thought you might want to see, this is the little birds. This is the little birds that was just waiting for me on my doorstep when I came home, and he just spent like 30 minutes, so I thought he couldn't fly, but I think he must have done this, he must have banged into my window. They're constantly coming into the house, the birds, at the moment. He must have knocked himself out and then just taken some time to come back. But he spent a long time, just, he didn't want to get off my fingers. And then he just flew away. So, you know, this is really good energy coming in.
I'm going to make you a house.
Very beautiful.
Stay here.
So the horizon, Elle on, she's on, Elle on, in Oz, Zion, the poot is in, the digital ID, monsters of the id. Bill has passed Parliament in Australia, digital ID system, the horizon, hormonal Liza line, Solomon to Salomen. Sal-Omen is Nemo. Salome the Third, the princess, the Jewish princess, was known as Salome the Third, which is just 77721, the World Tarot card. So, I don't think I'll be able to go through Monsters from the Id. That's that famous film that Lavette always says to watch, and that was the film that I watched, and the minute it stopped was when I saw the first flinch of Appy the day before Easter Day. I was too in advance. I jumped the gun. I went straight to the vets because they'd first practiced on Honey. And I went straight to the vet, and the vet just humiliated me and said to go home. And because I got there too early. So I was watching Monsters of the Ids. Interesting. Can we trust id, ID? So this is just your ID. This is just the Monsters of the Id. He's got his hat on. Horizon. There's been many films. It's just always the eyes on. Those are the breasts and the third eye. It makes the triangle. You can go from your horizon breasts to your third eye. Look, he's looking down. He's looking down at... Oh, and by the way, the G7 is in the northeast. Its longitude, latitude is northeast. Fly or die, horizon line. And God created the woman. There she is. The new Madonna, the Black Madonna, Stepford Wives, Rosemary's Baby, same thing. The Elizabeth line, it's just that film, in that film with Julia Roberts on Netflix, with it's always the central line, that is you're going up to through your throat. That's all. There's the same image as we saw in the Lady Gents video I did. West, east, the crane and the horizon, the Putin and the Ukraine. The T, the sword in the stone. The Macbeth line, that is the Cancer constellation. It's your stick man. It's the stick man in Thunderbolts, you know, that famous documentary, The Electrical Universe, Thunderbolts. So there you've got the G is a 7, and the 7-7. That's 777. Liber, 777. And the tarot, 777 is 21. There she is, the passage. It's just Christ consciousness. So Christ is Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces, feminine. Christ is feminine. And Virgo opposite the girl. So you either have Christ in the middle or the girl. When Venus is exalted in Pisces, you get Christ consciousness. And when Venus is in full in Virgo, you get the bitch. You get the flesh. You get the little mermaid with legs. So 7-7, and the 7 in the middle is when the two sevens become one. The last angle, the one voice. The one spirit. That's your baby reindeer. Here she is. The Instagram. That's exactly, we got the new moon on D-Day. And this is Luke. Taurus that takes Scorpio, the life and death portal. Fertility. Theseus, Madonna, BB, and there she is Rael, geranium. So in that book, if you read it, the main beautiful girl in the book, in my village, is called Germanium. German. I live in the Gers. 32 earth. So 23 spirit, 32 earth. The bullseye. It's a picture that Lars did. Kids only. That's Mercury. Mercury rules Jack and Jill, Virgo and Gemini. There's Gemini, Virgo, bullseye. Jupiter, Pisces, and Sagittarius, Jupiter. Mutable cross. Planet of the Apps, Odyssey 2001. Got the whole world in your hands. Pepsi Cola is just Pollux and Castor. And there, the fifth element, the supreme being. You're going to have your ID. Your multi-ID pass. Okay. So this happened around the full moon. We've got the lightning, we've got the prism, and we've got the spectrum, the free French triple goddesses, all three gone missing. Nikki Doll, Miss Martini and Minnie Majesty were all chosen to carry the Olympic flame as it makes its way to Paris for the Summer Games in July. This past Saturday, French drag queen Miss Martini became the first drag queen to ever carry the Olympic flame. So we've just had one on Saturday. So you've got the white line, the lightning and the colour, and the 5-0. We're at G7. 5-0. So material, Virgo, spiritual, Pisces, and the summer solstice 222 PB is 216, 16P and B2. The Sigal of Lucifer, it's just the ability to go from flesh, to find that perfect balance. to get your Venus, to find the light, the sigil of Lucifer. Okay, so this is regarding the tornado temple. So there you got your 66, Memphis. There is the corn of the unicorn, the full flower moon. That painting has come up. There they are. That painting, this is the passage through ELLE, the Vesica Pisces. New World Order, pink and blue, the one unicorn there, it's the one corn, the tornado. Tornado temple is a game. The two temples, so there were two tornadoes in temple. So the temple have become, in temple there were two tornadoes. This is a picture of the temple I found in this place in Texas. This temple is actually there. So there you've got temple. And look at these colours, from black and white to colour. So the latitude, longitude is 3197. Population of 7, the last leg, 70. Temple, longitude, latitude. Temple, longitude, latitude. Code postal. Oh yes, well there's in Paris we've got temple as well. Code postal, temple, longer latitude. Let's put Texas. I want to know if it's north, right, northwest. Okay, and then when you look at G7 Italy, G7 is in, okay, so it's in Aprilia. So Aprilia, longitude, latitude is northeast. And it's 40 and 17. And it's northeast, obviously. Northeast. So we go from northwest out. And now northeast in. Oh, I don't want to do that. I wanted to just... Sorry, we've got to go through the pictures like this. This is my new way of doing things because I don't get in trouble when it's a reel. And I really enjoy doing it. I really would love to be able to make films to express myself. But I'm learning with reels. It might lead me on to something else. I might one day work out how to do things. So I'm going to start again on Patreon, and I have been to look at how to do a live on YouTube, but from the days when Jacob did live on my YouTube account, I need to get hold of him. That's in temple, that there. Third eye temples, your cornerstone. So anyway, yeah, I've written a message to Jacob hoping, but he's not on Facebook anymore. So I think that because when I go onto YouTube to look at how to do a YouTube live, it's not at all, doesn't look like it doesn't look like it does on the learning how to do it on information YouTube. So yeah, so I need to work it out. There's the corn. Got the one unicorn coming up in the middle. And there's your Tatler, the Princess of Wales, strength and dignity. But she's gone. She's cartoon. She's a clone. She hasn't been seen since she's had her app. So look, the Free Martin, it's the one Mars and Venus in one corn, the fertility. So the twins, Gemini, born in Taurus as one sex, one child. It's the European flag. So this tornado was for, there's Dirty Diana, it's always in blue. There is Kevin Costner in the blue and white. The blue and white, the Smurfs, the Strumps, this is the corn, this is the hat, this is the back of your head, this is the gnome. And La Marianne in blue, the blues, she's sterile, she's barren, she's blue, she's got the baby blues, the BB. The story is that she gives up her child and then she gets her child back. There's a gap. There's a gap of sterility. The blue and red becomes pink in the V, in the gap. Exactly where Mars is now in Pisces. I like that. Divine dive in within high twin and listen is silent. Oops, so we've got another one here, or is that the one we've just seen? No, this is another one. So Dolly Parton, and funnily that drag queen we just saw was the doll, and there's something else I showed you today with doll in the word that I pointed out. That's a lot to read. Let's not look at that now. So blue and white. Dolly is the name of the lamb, the thalamus, the third eye, the first baby made in a artificial womb. So Scorpio is Europe. Europe is the Virgin with her crown, her 13 stars. There's Dolly. And what we see of Princess Catherine, she's gone, she's missing. This is, she's gone. We've just got a cartoon, a B-day of her. So free martins are known to have been described by the Roman writer Varro, who called them Tora. Discovered that a free martin always has a male and female twin. So the female comes out with the hormones of the masculine twin and she looks like a female. She has a womb, but she's highly sexed and sterile. Baron. So this is Aldebaran. The glyph of Taurus is associated with the neck. The neck holds our sense of valuing and self-worth. It is from this place that we express our worth, speak up for ourselves, and ask for what we want. The nerves originated from the neck control our facial expressions as well as our expression with our arms and hands. It's the Hawaii 5-0. So interesting, they just put the whore for his film. There you've got Prometheus and Atlas, Atlas Taurus and Prometheus Aquarius. So that is exactly what we're going to have for this new moon on D-Day. Well, there's Memphis, 6-6. 6-6, Memphis. And we're going to have the new moon. And so this is Atlas and Saturn in Prometheus. And there is a square exactly like for that 3/4 moon as well on the 30th, when we're going to have this square between Saturn and the Sun, between the fate philosopher's stone. You got to first you got to meet the beast at the back of your neck. Atlas carries the world at the back of his neck. And Prometheus has that war with the eagle that pulls out his liver, eats his liver every day, and he keeps growing back a new liver. Liver is evil. Memphis is Elvis, the route to Memphis. 666996. So he's hiding his eyes like in They Live. He's got those glasses. You see that it's just the corn. He's holding up. He's holding up the world, and he's holding up that crescent. Prometheus and Atlas. So that picture was taken. There's Atlas. Yep, that's my friend. That's Rennie who took that picture. So she was the one who pointed out Atlas is right there, and the sun was right conjunct to Atlas. So the sun was here. So it was on the 5-2, and that was some big dates. The 5-2. Well, we've just had it right under the Pleiades. Right under the Pleiades. We'll come back. I'll remember what it is as I see the posts. So there's Betty Blue, Moonlighting. We've got him, the guy from Moonlighting, Demi Moore's husband. So Demi Moore is on the steps at Cannes, and the husband has got mental. He's got Alzheimer's. There's Jesus. Blue Project, Madonna, the blue. Dolly at 20. Goddess Diana. And the Strumps again. Aladdin. Horizon at Cannes. Avatar. Okay. Okay, so again, that's a big post I'll be putting it all in my newsletter. For the full fertility, full flower moon is kills the petit pass, nail clippers, sun conjunct. Okay, you can read that. The painting of Kate is to feature on the cover of Tatler magazine in honour of her strength and courage. It is the British Zambian artist Hannah Uzor who took inspiration from her cancer diagnosis video message to the nation. The image captures the princess at the first state banquet of the King's reign in 2022 during the South Africa state visit. So that's the bottom of the meridian ley line. It's SA, South America, South Africa. It's the other. I've mentioned that before, but it's the Africa. In Roman mythology, the bull of the Taurus represents the god Jupiter, who turned himself into a bull in order to kidnap the maiden Europa, who he took to the island of Crete. Aquarius is Prometheus. So that's what I mean. You've got the Philosopher's Stone, Europe, Taurus, and Aquarius, which is the true South America, SA. So South Africa and America is NASA, North, South America. Aquarius, the true lamb. People born beneath Aquarius are cosmically linked to Prometheus, the god of creation and forethought. This alignment will grant you abilities related to communication and teamwork. Furthermore, the constellation Aquarius is also associated with Ganymede, the mythological son of King of Tros. Okay, so you can read all that, and I've just got more pictures there. And let's see from last week what other important. What's that? That's nothing. That's the full flower moon. So what have I missed? Full flower moon. Yeah, we've just got Prince Charles. You know, Prince Charles with his fleur de lis, the feathers, the little prince, pass, Scorpio. So you got John, Scorpio, Luke, Taurus, Mark, the lion, and Matthew, Aquarius, the angel. Aquarius, the 13th sign. Images from the full flower moon film. Prince Charles, Scorpio, Orion, Canis, major and minor, Salome, the dance, the belly dance of Salome, that's her, that's all. From Pisces back to Virgo. Cornwall, we had G7 there 4 years ago, 3 years ago. 4 humours are just the 4 evangelists, the beekeeper in the middle, and the metamorphosis. Okay, all for one and one for all. 4 fixed stars, and that's it. So I think that I covered this in my last video. I ran Eye of Ra, N. Eye of Ra, N. Eye of Ra is no longer the NN Balen, North Polaris Eye, new beekeeper of the 4 corners, Omen Nemo, New World Order, Blue Monday, Bear is the pivot, Helios, helicopter, sun god is now the moon. Moon in Virgo, 1722, 5 days, Pentecost, 50 days. Yep, that was Pentecost. That's right. So Pentecost, yep, last Sunday. So between the moon was in Virgo for those 5. Yeah, I'm sure I covered that in the last video. Iran, Eye of Ra, N, Eye of Ra. So we've got the Eye of Osiris. So Dubai is the bud of the eye. The dub is the bud and the eye. May the 20th, Iran's supreme leader announced Dubai. May the 20th, Iran's supreme leader Aliyah announced 5 days of public mourning for president. So I told you that story in my recent videos about my sister-in-law who had been living with the Shah of Iran when I first came to France, and I was 16 and she was 26, and she was on that famous program with Bernard Pivot, the pivot of the bear, the man who used to run a program on books about reading. So there she is reading. I can't believe these stories. Yeah, so everything I talk about kind of, if you've got to join up the dots, even I can't keep up. But look, now we've got it. He's killed in a helicopter. Iran, the Eye of Ra. So we've now got the other eye, the other side. A jump to the left, a jump to the right. And you've got to find the middle. We're always jumping from one to the other. So that doesn't want to let me look at all. So Eye of Ra, I think, so, it's always that. It's to find in the middle, to come in the middle. That's exactly what they're showing us. Okay, so this is the helicopter. Let's see. I think I showed you this one. Did we go all the way? So RN, Iran. And they had this thing RN, IRA, and the RN in France. What is the RN in France? RN, France. Ah, the National Rassemblement, National Rally. Okay. Yep, I think we've looked at those. We've done that. We've looked at those. So Blue Monday, 88 is your HH. 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. And the Eiffel Tower stands between the 7th and the 16th. The right arrondissement is always considered droite et gauche, right, left, with the Eiffel Tower in the middle. Omen Nemo, Blue Monday, 5:20. Yep, so the 5:20 was Pentecost, and Pentecost is 50 days after Easter, and it was 40 days since the eclipse. So we had a 4 and a 5, and a 4 and a 5 is half of 90. Half of 90 is 45, and 90 is the right hand angle. So then, yeah. So I think we've done everything. I'm sorry if I was a bit slow today, but we've looked at the main things that have happened this week. Please come along for readings. I need that stimulation to keep me motivated. It's nothing I enjoy more. I did a gift reading yesterday. I do a lot of gift readings. I really do 90% of my work I do as gifts and for free, and I just can't afford to do that, guys, anymore. So I will be getting back my onto Patreon, but please, come along for readings. Yeah, the gift I did yesterday was for children. I really enjoy doing readings for, readings for children. If you've got somebody who's just had a child, or, it's important to know about your child. So why am I so vague today with the moon? Let's go and look. The moon is right on that noon key. It's right on the noon key, and then the moon, we're going to have all the planets in another line. Quarter moon, and then new moon. So this is going to be big stuff when Mars, let's get rid of Mars enters Aries. Oh, Mars enters Aries on 6/10. That's the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. Mad Hatter, Alice. He's got his 6/10, and the 6/10 is also a 1 is always the 7. So 6776, that person, Terrence, whoever he is, Terrence Howell, he's done 67 films. It's always the 6776, 6th, 7th seal, and 6/10. Mars enters Aries. The 10th of June. Okay, so that is going to be, so that will be just after the new moon. And that is around the time that I want to be opening my Patreon. I may do it just for the beginning of June, but things will feel better. Things will feel good in June. And then we'll have the last passage of this conjunction under Algol of Mars conjunct. When is Mars conjunct Uranus? Uranus is stationary. Mars and Uranus, it's not going to be really completely under, but isn't that the opening for Bastille Day? Bastille Day. And Jupiter's going to be on bullseye. Remember, we've seen that. Okay, darlings, have a lovely Sunday. I love you very much. Bye for now.